All right, starting off with ringing of the spine and opening of the chest. 5-8 pounds, dumbbell, kettlebell, and just use the momentum to twist your body, whether it's opening the chest or stretching the back and the lat. And in full circumduction, just going around and around until you feel nice and warmed up. Then we're going to start with this 3-part trap raise. There's 3 parts, so it's top right there, the bottom, and then the back. So it hits the top part of the trap, the middle part, and the lower part. And you want to keep the shoulders retracted back. Now we're going to get a band. So if you can do these muscle ups until failure is what UF stands for, and you're just going to do as many as you can. And then you're going to switch over, or might just start with this if you can't get the muscle up, or trunk slams. 10 reps, 3 sets. Try to keep the arms straight. I bend them here, but you really want to try to keep them straight as you can, and use the lats to pull you back. See, there I start to get a little more straighter. And just think about slamming a trunk down, and that'll get you into that muscle up. Here's a different view. Still bending in the elbows a little bit. And you want to wrap your hands over the bar a decent bit. Then we're just going to grab those bands our feet were in and go to a downward press. So you see how I'm using my spine to rotate and twist and move with the press. Then we're going right into pull-ups. Make sure you got a good grip on the bar. Really squeezing through ring and pinky finger. Try to think about breaking the bar in half as you pull up. And also just add bringing elbows to waist. And for if you're not able to do pull-ups yet, you can just use the band. Then right into explosive push-ups. So your normal push-up, making sure you're squeezing the glutes as you're doing it so your back doesn't arch, and then press yourself up. Then you're working into this curl and press. So it's basically like a concentrated curl into a overhead press. But there's a pocket it fits into right here, and press up, and you go right back in that pocket and let it drop. Make sure you're pivoting the feet as well and driving through the leg as you press up. Then we go right into an alternate bench press. So if you pay attention to how I press up, there's a change. I go from like internal rotation to external rotation, and I just go back and forth. And then you can begin to add letting the legs out. It's starting to engage the core. Just make sure your lower back stays on the bench. Think about bringing belly button to spine as you're pressing. But if the back starts to arch and lift off the bench, I wouldn't go for the leg extension just yet. And it wouldn't be a workout without adding some legs to it. So here we're working the hip flexors. This is kind of mimicking sprinting, but any lower back tightness, this will help release it. And it's always great to have strong hip flexors. So that there's just an anchor point at the bottom of that pull-up bar, and I'm just bringing the knee up as I step up to the other foot. Then we got some hanging leg raises. Nice grip, squeeze the bar about shoulder width apart, and then you can just use variations. Every lift up is one, and then just challenge the body. And then there's a regression. You can just use the band, or just drive your knees up to your chest, but really drive them to your chest. Don't just lift them. And there's the regression.